We've got an event going on at the courthouse steps that has background noise, so if I need to repeat somebody's got their speaker on.
Was me again.
That's all right. We're ready to go. I think we have all three commissioners online. We do have some background noise from the event out front, but that's what you're hearing.
All right. We have all three commissioners on board. We'll call this meeting to order for Tuesday, November 24th. And the commissioners are in the respective offices telephonically. Keith Johnson, administrator, is running the public comment phone, and Karen, our clerk, is running the recording. So with that, if you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, nation under God. Thank you. Our first item on our agenda today is our public comment period is open all during our board meeting. The phone number is on the YouTube screen or in 546-5859. So call anytime during the meeting. With that, we'll move right down to office business. Next, bills to pay.
Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Peck. I don't know if someone has a microphone open, but I'm unable to hear the majority of the conversation, and I'm contemplating whether or not it might be in everybody's best interest if we recess this meeting till about 10:30 today.
Well, if people can't hear, it's not doing as much good to me.
Mr. Chairman, I can hear just fine. I'm hearing everything that's being said.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we recess the meeting till 10:30. It's going to be a little difficult to make out discussion on a number of consent items. And I suspect anybody who's calling on the phone is probably going to have difficulty hearing as well. If the board wants to continue, doesn't think that we need a recess, I will participate, but I think it's the proper thing to do.
Yeah. Well, if it was a large agenda, we really have just our payroll and consent agenda this morning. So,
Okay.
See if we can get through it.
Okay. Let me pull up the financials for this morning. We have one fiscal item. This is fund expenditures. Move for approval of fund expenditures in the amount of $1,530,591.70.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. That one and only, Commissioner?
That's the only one. It's a little unusual in the way it's constructed, but I talked to Keith and he confirmed that it's the correct total amount for us to approve.
Yes, Commissioner, I do have the detail right in front of me, and the number that you stated is the correct number.
Yeah, the person looks on the top of the first page, it shows a breakdown of the two items that add up to the total. One number
the second page is different than any one I've ever seen before, but that's fine. Keith has reviewed it. He's signed off on it. I'm comfortable.
Okay.
Next item is the consent agenda. Are we there?
Yeah, we just lost our YouTube. There we go. With that, if that was the only one, we'll move to consent agenda 1 through 10.
Move for approval of the consent agenda as presented, 10 items.
I second.
Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye, Chairman.
Yes.
Hello.
I think Commissioner Peck has the floor.
We keep talking over each other. Do you have a discussion?
I was going to ask about item 2, the MOU between IS and the HAPO Center. That equipment that is stored at the HAPO Center provides some emergency response capability that benefits all the county, including the HAPO Center, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so it seemed that there's probably no need to get into the fact that it's 2 different accounts because the HAPO Center is one of the beneficiaries of it. Is that reasonable?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Any further comments on the consent?
No, I'll hold off on the others. I can vote and get information on the others later.
All right. No further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Keith, we're down to yours already.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Only items I had this morning, just kind of provide an update. We are wrapping up our CARES Act funding programs. Still working with subrecipients to complete that, but everything's on schedule to wrap that up by the end of the month, according to the contract we have with the Department of Commerce. So I think we're on schedule to get that finished. Other than that, we have some ongoing discussions with Benton County and with department heads regarding the budget. We're a couple of weeks away from approving that. I've had a chance to discuss some issues of the budget with each of the commissioners. If you have continuing questions, certainly we'll be able to answer those questions, but just let the public be aware that on the 8th of December is when we plan on presenting that budget for approval by the board. That's all I have this morning. Thank you.
Okay. Questions for Keith? Hearing none, is there anything else for the good of the board this morning?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this is Commissioner Didier. I understand that there was a budget meeting not too long ago. I was wondering if you could give an update of the status, check of our finances here in Franklin County. Mr. Chairman, did you hear me?
Yeah, I thought maybe Keith could wrap it up on that, or
Certainly.
I don't have the paperwork in front of me, or we can get the paperwork and pass it off to you.
Yeah,
I'll you receive it.
I'll be glad to provide a general update. I don't have specific numbers in front of me either, but the long and short of it is the Franklin County budget for 2020 is about where we thought it would be based on our estimates at the first of the year. Sales taxes continue to show reasonable strength in spite of the COVID pandemic. However, we recognize that there's still some serious dark clouds on the horizon as respect to what may happen with businesses being closed and further economic impact. But so far, we've been in reasonably good shape. The departments and the agencies have been very good at managing their expenses and making sure that they're trying to spend only for necessary items. So for the year, we are a little under budget in our spending and a little over budget in our revenues. Building and construction continue to show growth. A lot of building permits still being issued. Had discussions with the city and the port to kind of get an understanding of the more macro level economics of Franklin County, and everyone seems to be in relatively the same position, just concerned about long-term impacts to economic activities that affects the budget. So right now we're in reasonably decent shape, but obviously concerned about next year. So I'd be happy to provide the auditor's reports to individual commissioners if you would like to see those numbers.
Yes, thank you, Keith. I'd like to see those numbers. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, anything further for the good of the board? I hear nothing, so with that, there's nothing on the phone, Keith?
No, sir.
All right, well, with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.